Hey guys, Christian here with MMA Reflections, and today I'll do my best to describe how Volkan Oezdemir knocked out Misha Cirkunov. So before I begin, let me first show you a study that was done by a team of Canadian scientists. They found some very interesting statistics by analyzing over 800 UFC fights. Um, but for the purpose of this video, let's focus on this statistic. So they say, our study found that fighters were at the greatest risk of sustaining KOs or TKOs from repetitive strikes, during the first minute of a round, and in the first round of a fight. The risk of these outcomes decreases with each subsequent round or minute within a round. These are novel findings in contrast with those of previous works reporting that the risk of all-cause injuries increases with each minute fought. Now, let's note that this fight actually took only 1 minute. So you can imagine the amount of explosiveness that these fighters have during that first minute. So to reiterate my point, let me direct you to how ATP systems work. And if you've done biology, you would have definitely encountered this before. So here we go. So as you can see from this graph, on the x-axis you have the time in minutes, and then on the y-axis you have the percent of energy supplied, or you can also think of it as explosiveness. So during the first half a minute to a minute or so, athletes have a tremendous amount of potential for explosive movements. And then after the ATP PC system starts to sort of reach its peak, it lowers, and then lactic acid takes over. And then when lactic acid is done, the system starts using oxygen for energy. And as you can see from the y-axis, the amount of explosiveness is maybe a little bit over half of what the ATP system can provide. So in other words, the ATP and phosphocreatine compose the ATP PC system, also sometimes called the phosphagen system. It is immediate and functions without oxygen. It allows for up to approximately 12 seconds of maximum effort. During the first few seconds of any activity, stored ATP supplies the energy. For a few more seconds beyond that, PC cushions the decline of ATP until there is a shift to another energy system. It is estimated that the ATP PC system can create energy at approximately 36 calories per minute. So some examples of this are a short sprint, lifting heavy weight, or for 3 reps, or pitching a baseball. And in our sport, it could be a short hook or an overhand right, a powerful move like that. And as you can see from this graph, most of the actual knockouts happen due to punches as opposed to kicks or any other striking techniques. Okay guys, so when watching this fight live with a friend last night, we both agreed that Misha Cirkunov kinda dropped a little weird, like he completely fell asleep from one strike placed from what looks like right behind the ear. And it's not the type of shot that should put your lights out unless you've already been somehow compromised in that fight, meaning you've already received some shots, and that's exactly what I think happened here. So I'll be watching the fight live and I'll tell you exactly what I'm seeing here. Okay, so fight starts. They both start sort of feinting at each other, and then Cirkunov throws a powerful body kick, Volkan catches it and returns with a solid left hook, which lands right on the chin of Misha Cirkunov. Um, and then, not even a second later, he lands a nice right hook counter against Ozdemir's momentum. So it's possible that these two shots, being so close in proximity to each other, actually kind of rocked Misha Cirkunov. Okay, so they disengage. Cirkunov throws a left straight from the southpaw stance, which lands pretty flush. Throws another left kick, front kick, and then right here on the 4:36 mark, he goes on the offense in a way that a fighter would pursue another fighter when they were absolutely hurt. You know what I mean? Like, he just turns off the killer instinct here, and there seems to be no reason for this. And so I'm guessing it's because he was wobbled a little bit there, wanted to get Volkan's respect. So he kind of rushes in pretty recklessly here, throws a 1-2 combination which completely misses, an uppercut which kind of grazes Volkan but doesn't really do much. And then we see him rushing towards the fence here. Volkan steps out and lands that short right hook right behind the ear of Misha Cirkunov, and it's lights out from there.